Thank you for joining us for 13 News Now Daybreak. I'm Megan Shin. We're learning more about the shooting at MacArthur Center on Thursday. It left 2 teens hurt and 4 men ranging from 18 to 22 years old were arrested. All of them now face serious gun charges. And this morning, concerns over the mall's future are growing. It's not just an issue of crime. Stores are moving out, including one of the main anchors. Robert Boyd picks up the story.
Several line items that we definitely want to show you guys. Addressing stormwater flooding, one of the biggest ones, and no surprise.
Another influential voice on Capitol Hill is speaking out against a Pentagon plan to retire USS Harry S. Truman. Senator Jim Inhofe is the chairman of the Senate Armed Services Committee. He says he believes it's a bad idea to retire the aircraft carrier early. This week, the Department of Defense rolled out its 2020 budget request. It wants to save $30 billion over the next 25 years by getting rid of the Truman.
Norfolk Police Department's top cop is asking for people to step up. He wants them to help catch whomever shot 7-year-old Brenasia last week.
You're going to lose an hour of sleep. Ouch, not really my favorite. Well, clocks go forward at 2 o'clock Sunday morning. Most cell phones and devices automatically adjust, but traditional clocks need a little help by hand. Arizona and Hawaii don't recognize DST. And remember, it's a great time to change the batteries on your smoke detectors as well. But many of you might be wondering why change our clocks in the first place. Rob Harris with our sister station explains what's up.
Tanya Chapman wrote she was forced out by the Portsmouth City manager, Linda Pettis-Patton, someone Chapman calls a mentor and a mother figure, but was a conduit in the situation.
Now to new details about a deadly shooting in Illinois. Officials say the gunman who shot at several workers and police yesterday afternoon is 45-year-old Gary Martin. Martin had just been fired from the factory warehouse in Aurora, Illinois. He'd worked there for about 15 years, and police don't know if he shot the people that fired him. But here's what we do know. 5 workers are dead and 5 police officers were hurt. One worker describes the chaos inside. Now, no one was hurt, but the store trinkets and treasures was totally destroyed last night.
It tastes like an actual cereal, you guys.
Okay.
It's still magically delicious, we're told. So,
see what you did there.
On the eastbound side past Mallory Street, it was at a standstill earlier for a good 2 out of the 3 lanes. Right now, at least it's moving, so we got that on our side. So if you're making that commute, you'll want to take a look at this. We have the state police on the side clearly closing down just to 1 lane, heading westbound towards this area at Ballantyne Boulevard. You can see that exit right now is closed down. Looking beautiful so far. A lot of people did their commute yesterday across Hampton Roads. We do have one hazard to bring your attention to.
to remind you, a good 400 employees work in that building, including the SWAT teams. I want to show you the condo that they were particularly looking at and pulling evidence out from. So I'm a good 5 foot 2 inches tall. This is huge. And this is just an example of how testy the weather was yesterday. I feel so badly for these firefighters. They're working so hard to get this fire out that's been blazing for quite a while. Portsmouth police officers say they're still looking for the second suspect who was inside the stolen car when it crashed into the pole over here, knocking out the power. Good news is the power is back, but it's leaving this gaping hole down here where the fire hydrant should be. It's still a messy and muddy situation hours after this all started.
It's very heartbreaking. It's very sad. It's very emotional.
It's a moment full of hugs and mixed emotions. To Laura Pointer, this moment returning to work includes a tough view. That's because the scene of where she lost 12 co-workers is right next door to her city work building.
And my supervisor came up and whispered in my ear that there was an active shooter. It was just kind of surreal. There were tears, there were hugs, there were just raw emotions because we could see the police outside of the window.
Those people outside the window included 5 SWAT team medics from Emergency Medical Services who ran inside to rescue the victims.
Incredibly, they were able to go through while bullets were still flying.
In a hurry, they pulled people out and immediately treated them.
I was hoping that everybody would come out safe.
12 loved ones are now gone, but EMS's department spokesman says the response was quick and smooth.
Being there, it's fast moving. You don't really think of it at the time. You just go because that's what we've been trained to do.
Today, first responders and city workers are moving forward with strength, returning to work through the grief.
Everybody deals with this in their own way. Knowing that the support of the community is there is a very big help.
Remembering the friends lost while appreciating those who saved others.
They will be in our thoughts and in our prayers every single day when we walk through those buildings.
In Virginia Beach, Megan Shin, 13 News Now. Meltoni Billy is on the road to healing. Today, that means revisiting where his daughter spent her last day alive in Virginia Beach. Inside his car, he carries a memory box of Ashanti Billy.
Everything Ashanti, so like photos of her.
Plus 2 big photo albums.
This is my last Father's Day card that you get this.
He's bringing these items along for the drive, starting at her apartment near town center.
This time would have been her move out time.
Meltoni says she would have just graduated from culinary school at the Virginia Art Institute. She dreamt of opening a bakery.
It's what brought us to Virginia.
As we continue down the road, we drive to where investigators say a homeless military veteran abducted her. After that, her car sat abandoned in Ocean View for days.
Like, wow, just like right here.
During the search for Ashanti, 13 News Now found footage of her suspected killer throwing her phone in a dumpster on Tally Ho Terrace. Little did he expect to meet the man behind the instrumental footage.
Nice to meet you. God bless you, bro. Appreciate you, man.
I'm sorry for your loss. I wish I could have done something else.
Meltoni says it's a process waiting for the justice system.
Justice for us is still to come.
But Ashanti's parents are making sure others get rescued if they are abducted. Now there's a statewide Ashanti alert in operation. A federal Ashanti alert also passed, but that one isn't running yet.
It's almost 10 months in. So many people have still, came up missing since the alert has been actually signed into a federal law.
Getting the federal system in action is Meltoni's next step, but remembering where everything started is a bittersweet stop along this long road ahead.
Donovan go to left field.
The Williamsburg 8-year-old All-Stars have been working hard all summer long.
Runners on first and second.
It's a Little League baseball team of 8-year-olds.
All right, good turn. Keegan, stay at first.
They're under the direction of head coach Amy Raines.
Because I love baseball so much and I'm so passionate about it.
They can now call themselves regional champions. With 13 kids on the team, they practiced 4 times a week and competed in 4 tournaments. In the last game, they outscored their opponents with the most runs and won the championship title for the Southeast region for the first time in Williamsburg history. That means they're now going to the Little League World Series in Florida. It's a big deal.
It just spurs all kinds of talk around the town and it gets kids excited about baseball and then all of youth sports in general.
We're proud to represent the city of Williamsburg and the state of Virginia and also the Southeast region.
For them, it's just fun participating in a sport they love with their friends.
We're just all happy, I guess. I really enjoy playing with my teammates.
Coach Raines says these kids did their best when it mattered.
Really proud.
And it's an extra dose of pride for her knowing this team, including her son, will be on the field next weekend
We know they're going to do great things.
to hopefully bring home the Little League World Series win. In Williamsburg, Megan Shin, 13 News Now.